Doing something a little different today. Well, number one, I'm only streaming for like 30 minutes. 35 minutes. Shit. Number two, playing this fucking game. I played it like I played one game last night just to see, and so far it seems okay. Seems like the kind of game that has that Team Fortress 2 balancing where everything in the game is just bad. But I could be wrong here. Oh, I haven't launched. One moment. Oh, no, don't want that one. Don't want that one. Don't want that one. Don't want that one. Oh, go ahead and take this one. So can I stream this? Because I know some games give me shit. Like easy anti-cheat. That might actually be giving me shit. 1 second. There we go. Okay. I'm gonna leave my cam up because I'm obviously the star of this fucking stream, not the game. So. This is the kind of game to where if it goes the direction that it should, which is the direction that I want it to go, I might actually purchase shit for it. But we'll see. What's this league stuff? Just the ranking system? I don't know anything about that. I'm gonna go ahead and do the tutorial here. Hopefully that doesn't take very long. I didn't do it last night. I play with a lot of things without you. She didn't know. You know what would be sick with this game? I can already tell you right off the bat. You know what would be like amazing? If they just started bringing in maps from other games, just so you could destroy them. Like imagine Dust 2. You could make it like, you would have to make it bigger, you know, like make everything wider, like Halo Infinite did to all the remake maps to accommodate for their shitty sprint mechanic. But it would work in this game because it's not Halo. It should make a, it shouldn't even make that noise. It should go stick it in the slut. Can I climb on top of the slut? No. Oh, you know what? I gotta do some frame rate stuff here. I gotta tune my shite. I'm probably gonna want to use my Fistfuck 2 profile, and I'm probably gonna want to call off work and play this all day. Alright, I got my metrics up. Hey, who the fuck is this guy? respectable boreholes.
I'm June, one of the co-hosts of the show. I've heard a lot of buzz about you among the sponsors. I really think you can steal the show. Use the practice range to hone your skills so you can go into the arena and beat them right.
Somebody's shooting me. The fuck? What's this? Healing beam? Oh. This is a goo grenade?
Throwing goo grenade.
Alright, so how does this, says it cooldown? Or no? I don't know.
Throwing goo grenade.
So how does this, like, explode? Just in a line? So you basically throw it and it's like a wall, okay. And your equipment recharges?
Let's get airborne.
I guess that's cool. You're fucking stupid. Oh goodness. That seems to defy gravity a little bit. Just saying. Like, that's a tutorial. Here's how you do the objective. I like that. I actually like that again. Alright. See if anyone's actually fucking playing. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if there are people playing right now, because this game's apparently, like, popular or whatever. Like, Steam tells me nobody's playing, but you know what? They're full of shit. So I'm probably gonna lose this on purpose, because I'm gonna be, fiddling with my graphic settings. I didn't really do that yesterday. Well, like how there's like a weather and a time. It's actually 9 a.m., but it's close enough. Please. Please. Why does it say baby back ribs? I changed my name.
Now, the Overdogs, the Live Wires, and finally, the Jet Setters. The arena is loaded. Buckle up.
Let's see, I'm getting...
Welcome to Quick Cash, where speed is the key to victory. The first team to stash enough cash will reign supreme.
Scotty set the scene perfectly. Remember, starting strong is key.
Let's try this.
It's on, Scotty. We've got our first elimination. The action is sure to ramp up now.
Hold on to your Assault bucket hats. Brought to you by Assault.
Oh, except I'm getting
Only
flickering.
one contestant left for the Overdogs.
Why am I getting
Not sure if it's a
flickering?
good time for them to play dead.
That's only when I turn that on.
The Overdogs are sniffing around Vault 1.
This is pretty much like no scaling, so
actual catastrophe for the Overdogs. Team wiped.
They lost the scent of victory that time.
No doubt about it.
Throwing a frag. Jump pad here.
We've got the Overdogs returning to the arena.
Okay, I'm still getting random flickering. I don't know if it's because I'm overclocked right now.
It's all connecting now for the live wires. They've started the match's first cash out. Moving into first place, the live wires.
Frag grenade out.
Jet Setters played safe or try to make it on our highlight reel. Let's see.
I'm still not sure how to do the fucking revive thing.
Smoke grenade out. Blasty flat.
This map's kind of gay, honestly.
The Overdogs will need to reboot. Team wiped. The Overdogs have recovered.
What the fuck
and
happened over
respawned.
here?
Clear skies ahead for the Jet Setters as they stage an amazing recovery.
The Jet Setters denied a cash out. Great steal.
One skilled play can change the game.
Oh, I see it. That's what you have to do. They need to make that a little bit more obvious because I didn't see the light blue going through the bar.
Match. The Jet Setters land the first cash out.
I'm getting a lot of flickering. Getting 80 frames though. I guess that's pretty good.
The Overdogs are off their leash, and they're opening Vault 2. The Overdogs have seen better days. Their last standing member needs to proceed carefully now.
Frag grenade
The
set.
Overdogs will need to try again.
They've been made a cat's paw.
Tossing a frag.
The Overdogs have made their return to the arena.
Gee, thank you.
Cash out underway, thanks to the live wires.
Special delivery. Frag grenade out.
Oh, okay. I see the, I understand the, damage summary over here now.
Uh-oh, only one contestant left for the Jet Setters.
How the fuck are you supposed to get around in this place? Oh shit.
Frag out.
The overdogs will need to come back from that wipeout.
On Team Fortress 2, this shit.
Respawn alert! The overdogs are back in action.
This is fucking stupid.
For the moment, we have the live wires out in front.
Come here, dipshit.
Outstanding cash out snared by the live wires.
Oh wow, my mouse cable's
An
actually
early predictor of chaos
tangled.
in the arena as we have a new vault.
I haven't used my mouse in forever.
The overdogs are playing at full train.
Holy shit, they're all there.
Contestants thrive under pressure. We're about to find out whether the last member of the Jet Setters is one of them. The Jet Setters will need to come back from that wipeout. The Jet Setters are back and ready to avenge that team wipe.
Special delivery.
The Jet Setters have a cash out in the works. We've got the Jet
Can I
Setters
use this
at the
scroll
helm.
reel to switch weapons? I'm pretty sure I can, because that's a little clunky for me. My sniper rifle's actually really bad. It's not even the guy who's using
We
it.
just passed the halfway point, and I'm really impressed with the team so far, June. The live wires need to play it smart now, June. They're down to a single contestant. Complete team wipe for the overdogs.
I'm positive they'll do better next time.
No arguments here. The Jet Setters take the top spot. Impressive steal by the Jet Setters. The overdogs are back on the scene.
Fuck that up.
Charging ahead for the moment, it's the live wires.
I like that
The overdogs just robbed another
the
team's cash
capture
out.
time
But
on
will
that
there be
doesn't reset.
consequences?
Delivery.
The overdogs have lost most members of their pack. Just a single contestant remaining out there. That's a cash out by the overdogs. A new vault in the arena. The ultimate omen of mayhem here at the finals. The live wires have recovered and respawned. A team wipe mishap for the overdogs.
They got roughed up, Scotty.
Jump.
The The live wires are electrifying the match, opening Vault 4.
That's funny right there. I don't care who you are. That's funny.
Tossing a frag. Sending a frag.
The Jet Setters are initiating a cash out. After a momentary outage, the live wires have respawned.
Contestants are ready for a surprise out there. The Jet Setters are back in the game with a Parting is such sweet explosion. At least that's what our contestants who get eliminated in the arena will experience.
Some turbulence for the Jet Setters. Only one contestant standing. The live wires
We need custom
conducted a
commentary
high-voltage
voices too. That's a
grabbing
lot of
cash
games
out
don't
with
get right.
shocking ease.
Like Dodo had it right for like a half a moment, and then
A minute still remaining. Let's see what they make of
Throwing a frag.
it. Go Boom event is still active, meaning plenty of opportunity for contestants to experience a volatile elimination. Adversity for the Overdogs. Wipeout.
They're off to the doghouse now.
You're preaching to the choir. Who wants it more? Our contestants have 30 seconds to show the world. It's all over, folks.
it
That's
fell.
a wrap. As we power down the simulation and our contestants unplug, let's take a moment to applaud our new rising stars.
eight, 2 and 8. I guess that's respectable considering I played the objective a little bit. Oh boy. Points. I don't want a belt bag. It's just a fucking gay fanny pack. That's all it is. So when do I get the turret? Because that's the most important thing in the world to me right now. Oh, I gotta play the unlock stuff. Oh no, this is what I want right here. I'll have that real quick. Is there like a minigun? Oh, that's basically what these are. Okay. Oh, look, you can be a scout. It's pretty cool. I'm gonna go ahead and load up practice range here. Maybe that's more graphically intensive and I can fine tune some shit. And you got like 15 minutes. It has to search for that? What? No, hold on. Let's just do the tutorial again. Or no. I don't know. It has a search for both of them, I guess. The only problem is this room isn't very busy. You do have the foliage, but that's about it.
Hello there, I'm June, one of the co-hosts of the show. I've heard a lot of buzz about you among the sponsors. They really think you can steal the show. Use the practice range to hone your skills so you can go into the arena
wish there was
and
like
prove them right.
benchmark fucking doohickey. Alright, you know what? Let me put this on high. And then... Hold on. Oh, we want crossplay on. Kidding me? I might actually play with a controller. I don't know. We'll see. Seems like controllers would be OP in this game, like COD. I'm gonna switch this to high. So I'm getting like 85. So probably 80 in game, right? Yeah. So if I switch this back to Epic, I get 67, so probably like 60 in game. Let's try findangling some stuff here. Let's turn anti-aliasing to low. That does nothing. Anti-aliasing used to be so intensive and now it's not anymore. Probably because back in the day that used to be like actual anti-aliasing instead of just some blur effect. Shadows, how about putting those on low? What's that do for me? Wow, 10 frames. Damn. Let's just put everything on though. What's that look like? I don't know, but I'm getting 144. So let's go ahead and we want view distance all the way up. You know, let me watch a guide real quick. I got a little bit of time left. I'm gonna watch a guide. Just watched one the other day. How long ago was this made?
With the game looking absolutely
4 days ago.
fantastic.
Okay.
That's
kind of hardware you running with?
First of all, this game is pretty well optimized, especially if you have an RTX graphics card with some sort of ray tracing support. It seems to be running really smoothly with barely any FPS drops on higher end hardware, but there's still a ton to be gained by optimizing some of the options. On the main menu, I'll turn off my overlay there, head into the settings in the top right corner, then settings and video. Let's start at the very top with display and resolution. First of all, windowed mode should be set to full screen for the best possible FPS.
Why do games default to fucking windowed now?
Or windowed full screen rather, does seem to run pretty well, especially on Windows 11 with windowed mode optimizations enabled in the graphics options of Windows, but preferably you should be running it full screen for the best unfiltered raw performance. On top of this, resolution should match your display, so if you have a 2K display, set it to 2K, 1080, etc. We'll be lowering resolution later on and upscaling using DLSS, FSR, or things like that, but we'll get there in just a moment. Then VSync should be disabled unless you're getting screen tearing where the top and bottom half of your monitor don't match up. NVIDIA Reflex low latency. If you have an NVIDIA graphics card, this should definitely be turned on. If you're CPU limited with a much lower end CPU, you should set this to on plus boost. For me, as I have a powerful graphics card and CPU, I'll just leave it on. Then resolution scaling method, we have DLSS, AMD FSR2, Intel XeSS, and TAAU. Let's go through these options. DLSS, FSR2, and XeSS are all AI upscales DLSS. If you have anything else, or just prefer how AMD FSR looks, choose that instead. Then right below this, we have an option. This option allows us to change between quality, balance, performance, and ultra performance between all of these upscaling / resolution scaling options. Essentially, the more to the performance side you push this, the lower quality the game is rendered, and AI magic is used to upscale it. If you have this set too far to performance end, you'll gain a ton of FPS, sure, but you'll start noticing weird visual artifacts and glitches. You won't get this closer to the quality side, so I'd recommend you start at quality and move your way to the performance side. If
I wish I could just turn it off altogether.
Quality will give you the best visuals in game, upscaling / quality. You get good results from this as well. Personally, I prefer DLSS or FSR2, and I'll be starting on DLAA. I won't be doing any upscaling, just so we can see what kind of performance we're getting. If we need more FPS later, we can push this further to the right to the performance end, starting at quality. So for now, DLAA. Then graphics. These are your preference entirely. Field of view, set this to whatever you're comfortable with. The higher this is, the lower FPS you'll get technically, but it really doesn't matter. It all depends on your personal experience. Then motion blur, I usually have this disabled, and I'd recommend you have this disabled too, as it'll help you see people moving around in the distance a lot easier, especially if you're flicking around. It's important to have this disabled as a competitive edge. Then lens distortion, also somewhat a competitive edge if you turn this off, but ultimately it's not that distracting. It's just a nice small touch to add a bit more to the game. You can leave this enabled, but it's your preference. Then
no wonder I died.
If you have an NVIDIA RTX graphics card, ray
tracing it's that fisheye effect.
On
yeah,
high and dynamic. There are a few options here. We have dynamic, epic high, medium and low, and static options here, which makes it super simple. Overall quality level changes all of the options below this point, and essentially moving FPS, then view distance is somewhat your preference. The higher this is, the more you can see in the distance. Pushing this to epic isn't really necessary. High is good enough, and you'll probably want it higher so you can see people better in the distance. If you're struggling for FPS, lower this to medium, but I wouldn't recommend going lower. Then anti-aliasing.
Alright, this guy has an accent, so you must know what he's talking about.
Whether it's FSR2, DLSS, or XeSS, you should definitely set anti-aliasing all the way down to low. Essentially, this smooths out jagged edges, and in a game that you need performance in, a competitive game, it's definitely not something you want taking away FPS. You'd rather have jagged edges over having way fewer FPS. Set this down to low, especially if you're using any kind of upscaling. Then shadows. You're not going to be staring at shadows all the time. I'd recommend medium at highest, otherwise you can push it up if you find shadows distracting. Then post-processing. This has to do with motion blur, bloom, lens flares, etc. You're not going to be seeing these effects all the time, so leaving it on high is probably okay, especially if you have motion blur disabled. So medium is probably good enough, you can crank it high if you need. Texture. This one entirely depends on how much VRAM your graphics card has. If you have more than 8 gigs of VRAM in your system, you can comfortably set this to epic and forget about it. Leave it on high if you have 6 or more gigs of VRAM, medium if you have 4 or more, and anything less than that, set it down to low. Essentially, if you use more VRAM, it's not going to take away any FPS for the most part. If you use too much VRAM, as in you overflow your graphics card, the game will probably crash or absolutely tank its FPS. If you have this option set too low, you're not really going to gain anything. So there's a sweet spot for your graphics card that's worthwhile finding out. Usually you can have this on the This has to do with screen space reflection, subsurface scattering, sky atmosphere, and ambient occlusion. These are all somewhat noticeable, but they aren't going to be gameplay breaking if you lower this down quite heavily. These are very subtle effects that you're not going to be looking at all the time. Low or medium is probably okay. Then foliage, you're not going to be staring at trees and things like that all the time. You can comfortably crank this all the way down to low. There's not much heavy grass, so having this set to a lower option isn't necessarily going to help you get a competitive advantage, but lower foliage usually means better visibility. Then global illumination resolution. This has to do with lighting all over the world, and it's baked into the map. Ultimately, this isn't going to have a huge impact on your graphics card. It's mainly going to have an impact on your VRAM and a little bit of performance. Having this set to high or medium is probably okay. For the most part, that's all the options here. There's not much else we need to worry about. Scrolling down, these are all of my settings here, and if we need more FPS, come back to the upscaling method and push it to quality, then balance, and that's pretty much as far as I would go to the right. Otherwise, you'll start noticing some really weird graphics, artifacts, glitches. I'll head across to the audio tab where you can lower your dialogue volume, as this will help you hear footsteps and things like that. But it could be a small competitive advantage. The same goes for using the leg gear, as affects the as that's footsteps and things like that. The rest of these options are entirely your preference.
Oh, is that an underthrow?
As well, and on gameplay, the only
I didn't even know you could do that.
is your matchmaking region, just to make sure you're in the correct place. Obviously, it's going to be the best ping server and drop you in that, so it doesn't should greatly improve the number of players you could be matched up against or with. Having this enabled should help lower your queue times. That's it. I'll head back, and with all of our
I didn't even see this stuff over here.
Head into a quick play game and check out our FPS. And there's just a reminder that you have crossplay enabled, but that's fine. There we go. 144-ish FPS, which is great. Previously in-game, as you probably saw near the beginning of the video, or even overlaid now, my FPS before with the epic option was around 70, quite stable, dropping to 60s, even 50s sometimes, but it wasn't bad at all. This game is super well optimized, as the Unreal Engine is just good. Right, in the intro here, 150 FPS, and dropping into the actual game itself, 160. This is huge. I've quite literally doubled my FPS with these options, and the game looks pretty much just as good. The most hard-hitting FPS option that you'll probably see will most likely be the RTX options. It's completely your preference whether you like RTX enough to have it on, as it is going to cost you quite a bit of FPS. As for visibility, there's not going to be too much of a difference. So sitting comfortably at 170 FPS with the game looking absolutely fantastic, that's really good. Obviously from here you can crank down your graphics options or crank up the effectiveness of FSR or DLSS to get even more performance out of your game. But personally, this looks absolutely fantastic, and this is probably where I'd leave it. Just to give you an idea of what FPS we were getting before, I'll pause the game, settings, video, and I'll crank it all the way up to epic, which was the default, or maybe just high. Setting it high, we're getting a solid 120, 130 FPS as we have DLSS enabled. If I set it back to DLAA for native resolution, it'll drop down to 60.
I'm gonna go ahead and get off here. I'll be back.
Check out epic in just a second. All right, there we go. Settings.
Later today, hopefully not too fucking late, because I'm gonna have to go to bed relatively early.
Bad. The only thing that didn't change though is the RTX option, so I'll set this to
anyway,
epic,
toodles.
and once again, not a huge drop